everyone, and welcome to my corner of the world. So today I've got this really cute 3D card project, and it's a planter card. And the good thing about this is that when you fold it flat, it will fit into a regular envelope for mailing. And one of the things I suggest is that when you mail it, you get half a sheet of copy paper, fold it in half, and just put everything in, and then you can pop it in your envelope. And because this doesn't have really anywhere for you to write your message, then you can put your to you, love from me, inside your piece of copy paper. So let me share how we pulled all of this together. So you're going to need 4 squares, 2 by 2 of crumb cake. Then you're going to need 4 legs, and this is, I think, 1 by 2.5. And then you're going to need 3 pieces that are forgotten. Let me see. 3 by about 1.5. So the legs you're going to score at 1/2 inch down the center, and these you're going to score at 1/2 inch from either side. Now you don't need to worry about these measurements because they'll all be on the recipe, and you'll be able to see the link below this video, and it'll take you to my blog, and that it will go to the exact post that this project is listed, so you're not hunting and pecking looking for that particular project. So then you need to emboss your pieces of card, and you can see I've used the timber embossing folder, which makes it look exactly like wood. Hopefully you can just see that there. And all 4 panels and all 4 legs you're going to emboss. And then once you've embossed them, we're going to do a little sponging just to give it a bit of texture. So I'm just going to put a little on what will be the top and the bottom of the panel, this panel, because the grain runs this way, and so this is going to be the top and this is going to be the bottom. And then the legs, we're going to fold those along that score line, and then we're just going to add some ink along that fold, and the top and the bottom and the outer edges. And I'm just using a little bit of early espresso, and I've got an old bit of sponge here. So you're going to do all 4 of those pieces, and then you're going to take each of them in turn, and you are going to add double-sided tape to the 4 panels. So I'm just going to do this final one here. I did a little bit ahead of time because you didn't really want to sit and watch me stick tape onto 4 pieces of cardboard, did you? So there we go. Oh, that's not going to work because you need to keep it close to the edge there so that we've got it nice and close. Right, so now we've got 4 legs and 4 panels, and we're going to attach them all together. So you're going to work sort of 1 leg, 1 panel, a leg, a panel, a leg, a panel, a leg, and a panel, And then once we've got all of those strung together, we're going to bring them all, fold them all in to make the square. So I'm going to start with the first one. Just take the backing off here. And we're going to line this top edge here up with the top edge of the leg. And you want to make sure that you get that cut edge right into the corner here. And by that, what I do is I lay this down flat on one side, make sure that that cut edge is well and truly in that corner, and then I'm just folding over. There we go, we've got that one done. So then we're going to take the next one. And again, I'm going to lay it down on the leg, line up the top edge, make sure that's pushed firmly into that corner, and then fold it over. So now we've got a leg, a panel, and a leg. Now we're going for another panel. And this time I'm going to have this folded up like that, just so I can see that corner clearly. Make sure it's level. Fold that over. And now I've got that shape. Now we're going to go for another leg. So again, lay that down on the leg. Make sure it's all level. Place it right up against the fold. And then we've got 2 more panels and 1 more leg. So again, I'm going to lay this there like that. Make sure that it's all pushed firmly against the corner. This is going to be our last leg. So again, like this, fold it over, and then our last panel, we're going to lay it there like that, so it's all lined up. Push it firmly into that fold. And it's much easier doing it this way than trying to sort of line it up and make your card do all the work for you. And so this one I'm going to lay flat again, push it well into that corner, and now I've got my little box. So I'm going to use my bone folder, and I'm going to put a really firm crease in each of those legs. Now we got these pieces that we did cut earlier. So these are the 3 by 2.5 or 1.5. You're going to fold the ends in and put some double-sided tape on the outside, if you like, of each of these little tabs. And I'll show you what we're going to do with those. So again, put the folds in like this and use that bone folder to give it a good firm crease, because that means that you'll get a better finish on your planter. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to put them inside of the planter. Number one, it gives it more stability, and the other thing is that this is where we're going to attach our pretty flowers. Right, so I'm going to take both pieces of backing off. It's unlike me, I know, because I don't like having all of that tape or adhesive exposed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up these cut edges here into the corner of the planter like this. Now it doesn't, you can have it level or slightly below, but make sure it doesn't go above the top of your planter. Otherwise it'll show and you won't be happy. So I'm just going to start by sliding that in and then really butting that cut edge into that corner again. And then I'm going to get my bone folder and really press that firmly. Okay, so there's one side, and now the other side, like that. Again, the old bone folder. And then you can see how it's just in there. You can see that little cut edge there, right in that corner. Then we're going to take our second piece, and this time we are going to do exactly the same, but in the opposite corner. So I'm actually going to I'm going to actually put it on this panel here. So again, I'm going to pop that in, press it firmly, and I'm not necessarily even trying to get them all level, because otherwise you're just going to spend a lot of time, and at the end of the day it doesn't really matter as long as they don't show at the top or at the bottom. Now our third piece we're actually going to put in the middle, and if you line up this cut edge with the back of this edge that you've just stuck in, that will give you even spacing. You'll find you've then got 4 half-inch gaps. So let's go ahead and get that in. You following me so far? Hope so. All right, so slide that in and just kind of hook that little piece out and get it stuck in place. Again, straight in there with that bone folder. And then the other side we're going to do, flip that out, line it up and get that in there. So there we've got our 4 partitions in there. So if you look at it like that, you can't see anything top or bottom. Now the next thing we're going to do at this point is we're actually going to flatten it so that when we get all our flowers and everything, we're not going to squishy up our flowers, and we know it's going to fit in our envelope. So I found that you need to test both ways. So this one goes down quite nicely, and this one, well, they work quite well, but go for the one with the least resistance. And then you're going to flatten it down, and again you're going to go around and you're going to put in the 2 end folds. There we go. All right, and just like that. So now we know that that will fold flat and go into the card. Now I'm going to put my greeting on, because I found that if I don't put my greeting on at this point, I lose the orientation, and I found sometimes I get my flowers to the facing to the back, to the front, to the side. So I figured if I went ahead and got my greeting on straight away. So I'm just using some, I think it's Gorgeous Grape there, yes, ink, and my greeting is from the Dainty Delight stamp set, and I've just Celebrate You. That's the one I've chosen to use. And the reason I chose to use that is because the flowers are all cut out from the coordinating dies. So I'm using my duo or my double oval punch. There we go. And then I'm just going to cut a piece of backing with the scallop side of things. A little bit of adhesive there. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put an embellishment on at this point because I can press it firmly. So I'm using the brushed brass butterflies. It's a bit of a mouthful to say. And I'm just going to use one of these on my greeting there like that. And then we're going to put a couple of dimensionals on like this. And I'm going to fold this flat. Now, a few moments ago, I told you about taking half a sheet of copy paper, folding it in half. We're going to use this as a template because we need to know that anything we put in this little box has to fit in an envelope. And if this is just slightly smaller than the envelope, then we know as long as everything we put on this is within the size of this piece of paper, then it will fit eventually when we're ready in the envelope. So make sure, so this is going to be my front, and I'm just going to pop it like that. And so it's well in the margin here. Okay. Now these dies, they are called the Dainty Delight dies, and they are exactly that, absolutely delightful. I pre-cut some pieces because you didn't want to just sit and watch me die cut stuff. So I've cut 2 of these in Mossy Meadow, and that's this long thin one here. And then all these other flowers are in this same die set. I didn't use anything else. So there's this lovely one. So you cut the little flower and the stem, and I'll show you how I connected those two together. So I've got my stem here, and I just put a tiny little dot of adhesive on each of those little green starry looking pieces. And then I just attach that to the front. Everything's moving. There we go. Like that. So there we've got a really pretty little blossom. So I made 2 of those. Then I got my daisies. So there's a die to cut the daisies. Let me put it on something where you stand a chance of seeing them. So there, I got my daisies, and I cut 2 full daisies and 3 half daisies, and you can decide how many flowers that you want on yours. But there's the daisy, the whole daisy, and then there's the half daisy here. And then there's this super duper little die, which here it is, where you cut the middles, and you cut 4 at a time. So that's really handy. So let me show you how I attached the middles. So I got my take your pick tool, and a tiny little dab of adhesive on there again. It's all about tiny little dabs. Smooch it round a little bit. Then I pick up my middle here, there it is. And then I'm just going to attach it to my little flower. Now, normally I would do this on my bench top, but it's a bit small and a bit far away, but you can see that really brings it alive, doesn't it? Really, really brings it alive. So there's my 4 or 5 daisies. And then there's a little die here that cuts 4 little blossoms in one go. So I have cut those in Highland Heather. All right, so I got some spare middles there for my daisies. So I'm just going to take a pair of paper snips and I'm just going to cut this in half. These two, so I end up with 4 stems. And so with these 2 that I've already got made up, it means that I'm going to be putting 6 stems into my little planter. So my first thing is I'm going to do, let me work on here. I'm going to do my little Highland Heather blossoms. And so I am just going to add a little dot of adhesive. It's all about little dots. I'm going to stick this one there, and I've just attached it to a leaf. I'm not trying to get it on the stem or anything. So there's my one attached there, and I'm just going to use the smallest 3, and I'm going to leave that big one to one side. Now, you don't want to put your flowers too close to the bottom of your stem, otherwise they're going to get lost. So I'm going to put another little dot there, pick up my flower and attach it, and then I'm going to put another little dot there, pick up my flower and attach it. So there I've got a very pretty little stem of blossoms. So there is that. It's my 3. And then these last 3 I am going to do with my daisies. So I'm going to again put a little blob on there of adhesive, and I'm going to put a half daisy on here and call that done. And then the other 2, I'm going to put a half daisy on each and a full daisy. And I'm going to try and make sure that I put them in slightly different positions. And I'll put a full daisy here. Oh, got a tiny little bit of adhesive on my finger, and you know, it's just pulling off that very delicate daisy. There you go, hopefully. So there's 5 stems, and then since I've got some adhesive on my fingernail, I'm going to pop it there. I'm going to pop that here, and I'm going to put this one over here. And now it's just a case of arranging. Now, I'm not terribly good at flower arranging. My mum was really super. She could do things with flowers, but I'm not so hot. So we'll just see what we end up with. So here's our little template again, and here's our planter pot. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach these either on this back panel, on any of these panels inside. And I'm just going to put a little adhesive on the stem, and I'm just going to make sure that wherever I put it, it's not going to go outside the footprint of the card. So I've got lots of space here. So I've just attached it. If you can see, I've just attached it inside there. And let's see, I'm going to work from the back frontwards, and I'm not going to crush things. So I'm going to put this one in the middle there. So we're going to add a little adhesive again. Now you can use your Stamp and Seal, your tape runner, whatever you prefer to use. Okay, so we're still good. It's still all in our little footprint there. So when I look at it from the front, I think what I'll do now is I'll put this one in. And I'm going to pop it on the same panel as the other one. So I'm still good. Hey, in fact, I'm going to move it down a little bit. The adhesive is still damp, so I can move it down a bit. Oh, there we go. In fact, I could just pop that slightly in front there. Right, so we're still looking good. We got a couple more daisies, stems to put in. Now this one, I want him to come up a bit more. So this one is curving round. So when I put it in my pot, I'm going to put it so that it is sort of lying down a bit more. Lying backwards. Okay, we're still good. Then we've got this one to do. Let's see, where should I put this one? There. And I'm also putting them in a little bit deeper each time so that I've got tallish ones at the back and shorter ones at the bottom. And then this one is my last one. There. They all fit in, look. And there we go, squared it up a bit. And there we've got a lovely flower arrangement. So that is very nearly done. The only other thing I want to do is to just put a few pearls on those blossom, those little purple blossoms, to give them some middles, just on a couple of them. And then on my last one, I haven't stuck that down yet, have I? I should perhaps have put these on before I put them in. And then on my last one here, I'm just going to add that, and I'm just going to pop it on the edge here and add a pearl. And there we are. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this really pretty little card. Let me just show you how it will now fit in the envelope, just to prove that it fits in the envelope. and the job is a good one. There we have it. Well, thank you very much for spending some time with me today. I certainly hope you have enjoyed my video. If you have, perhaps go ahead, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't already subscribe, perhaps you could do that and share. And I will be back with another project, I'm sure, very, very soon. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye for now.